Good afternoon and welcome everybody. This would be Amateur News Today, May 12th, 2021. I'm your host, John. You, the audience. And I gotta say, it seems like everything around the world is sort of falling apart right now. You've got a gas shortage crisis in the Southeast. Liz Cheney's gotten booted out of leadership positions within the GOP. Israel and Palestine looks like they're actually about to go to war. It's pretty rough out there, and that stuff's pretty heavy and hard hitting news. And I don't really want to keep harping on that. There's plenty of places to find all that. I really want to bring it back down to lighthearted, sort of fun news with my quippy opinions. So if you're looking for all the heavy news, it's out there. You can find it. That's not going to be me today. So let's just jump in and hopefully we can find a little joy and laughter. Our first story comes from The Independent, where Jeff Bezos, Amazon founder and the world's richest man, will reportedly soon be the owner of a mega yacht that he bought for $500 million, almost double the price he paid to buy the Washington Post newspaper back in 2013, showing us that boats are worth more than actual news that we consume. And while the details of the vessel have largely been kept under wrap, the 417-foot super yacht is so massive that it has a yacht of its own, like a baby yacht, along with a helipad. And while $500 million sounds to be quite a bit to myself, and I'm going to guess everybody who's watching this right now, because if you have enough money to where you can afford a $500 billion yacht, throw me a bone, help a guy out. But anyways, the $500 million is but a mere drop in the bucket for Jeff Bezos, who's worth a reported $191 billion. So he's going to be okay. He's going to be okay. And further in the article, while COVID-19 was not a factor when Mr. Bezos invested in his fortune in his super yacht, Bloomberg analysis showed that there is a market that has grown, especially during the pandemic. The market's been roaring. Sam Tucker, head of super yacht research at London-based Vessel Value, was quoted as saying by the outlet, which, for all you kids out there looking for a career, there's always sales, that you can be a doctor, an astronaut, firefighter, policeman, all the standard stuff that kids want to be. But imagine you grow up one day and say, you know what? I want to be the head of super yacht research. That's a job. Head of super yacht research. Just imagining as a little kid just waking up in my tired town in North Florida saying, Dad, I want to be the head of super yacht research. God bless him, man. What a world. Anyways, other details about this yacht, according to Aino Garapin, Chief Executive Officer of Super Yacht Interior Studios Winch Design, says that this particular yacht allows the explorer to cruise for 9,000 nautical miles without the need to refuel it. Clients can enjoy life at sea for long periods of time without having to go mix with the others, I guess us poors. So if you know that there's going to be a zombie apocalypse or something of the sort, there's a super yacht. Try to reserve yourself a space on it. Before I move on to our next story, if you hear thunder in the background, I apologize. I live in Florida and the weather just decides to do weather things, so you may get some thunder. I digress. Moving on. Coming from Fox News, our next story's headline: a Utah climber rescued from a spot called certain death after a rock the size of a refrigerator rolled on him. What? All right, let's dig into this story. This should be interesting. A climber in Utah was rescued Sunday from a mountain area known as certain death after a large rock the size of a refrigerator rolled on top of him, officials said. Rescue crews responded around 4 p.m. to a call of an injured climber, no kidding, in the Gate Buttress area of Little Cottonwood Canyon. Now that's a sweet name. Which is part of the Wasatch National Forest, located about 15 miles from Salt Lake City. the Salt Lake City Sheriff's Search and Rescue said in a statement. It seems two climbers had been navigating new routes in a waterfront area above a location called Certain Death when the accident occurred, the statement said. Can I just go ahead and put a PSA out there that if you're in an area called Certain Death, avoid it. There's no need to go to a place called Certain Death. That comes to mind if you go to a zoo and you see a tiger and you can pet it and you ask, what's the pet's name? And they say, yeah, this tiger's name, it's called Eats People. Don't touch that tiger. If you go bungee jumping at a company called Crappy Rope, don't jump. It's just, if you go to Certain Death, what do you think is going to happen? A refrigerator-sized rock rolling on you. I mean, come on. Can we use a little common sense? It wasn't, they didn't go to a place called Happy Climb or This is going to be fun or Swell Mountain. No, 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 no. It was Certain Death. And the guy, well, he tried. He really did try. And maybe these mountains need to try harder if they're going to live up to their name. Don't do Almost Death. Don't do Maim Mountain. It's Certain Death. If you're going to roll a rock on a person, well, do your job. But still, my God, Certain Death. I mean, if you feel like going and climbing on loose boulders and feel like you have to chop your arm off like in that 127 hours, be my guest. I'm going to be home on the land that's real smooth and breezy. I may even lay out in the sun. And you know what that's called? That's called fun. It's not certain death. And for our last story, speaking of places no one a certain age should be, this story comes from local10.com down in Miami, where a woman trespasses a Miami high school and poses as students to gain Instagram followers, police say. I guess she thinks she's the new modern age Josie Geller. So a Miami Beach woman has been arrested in order to stay away from a local high school after police say she trespassed and pretended to be a student. According to police, it all started when 28-year-old Audrey Nicole Francischini, a Carnival Cruise Line employee who works in sales, entered the American Senior High School in Miami on Monday. That is when security confronted her, but she portrayed herself to security as a new student and stated that she was looking for the registration office. However, instead of walking to the office, she walked straight past it, down the hallway, confronting multiple students as they were trying to enter a classroom. Now, when they say confront, I don't know that she's like bowing up, trying to start a fight. I think she's actually trying to start a conversation. Very interesting choice of words to say confront. Upon this confrontation, she allegedly stopped them from entering the classroom, preventing them from entering the class. Again, I don't know if she's standing there with sticks in front of classrooms and going all Gandalf and saying, "You shall not pass." And that is when the school security confronted her for a second time. The time she refused to stop for school security entirely, and security notified the school administration of a potential threat on campus. That makes sense. Surprised it took this long. I don't know how young she looks to be 28 years old and fooling security and staff. Once she was witnessed, the number of school officials who began surrounding her, she began walking towards an exit door and out onto the faculty parking lot, which ultimately led to her towards the street. And when the police began yelling commands at her to stop, she ignored them and walked off school property. Yeah, that's a big no-no. Just, if you're an adult, avoid a high school. Treat it like it's a place you've been, you've done it. You don't need to go back. Let the kids who were there do their thing. Let them have their high school time. So, according to the article, footage showed that she not only dressed up like a student on purpose, but as she was preventing students from entering the classroom, or the big stick and blocking them, she was simultaneously handing them pre-printed pamphlets with her social media username. And once officials were able to locate her through her social media page and driver's license, she was arrested at her Miami home on Monday and taken into custody without incident with the assistance of the North Miami Beach police. So there's got to be a better way to get social media followers. I would like more people watching this content right here. I would ask you to like, subscribe, and share it with people. That's how I plan to do it. Grassroots. I don't plan to just, pretend I'm a high school student again. I'm sure there's no way in hell I'm fooling anyone that I'm a high school student. I wasn't very cool then. I am definitely not cool now. But if you want to follow me, great. I'm not going to be passing out pamphlets. I'm definitely not going to a school. But that's your amateur news today. Hopefully it was a little bit lighthearted, even though I wanted to start off kind of heavy because there is a lot of big news that's happening out there. But thank you for stopping by. I hope you have a great day and take care.